Good evening, boys and girls. Happy Tuesday. Welcome back to another live episode of the Highbury Squad. In honor of the Thanksgiving holiday this week, and you know that I live in the United States, it's a massive holiday and I love it. And it's awesome because you don't have to buy anyone gifts. All you do is give thanks. So today, me and Super Kev are going to give thanks to this current Arsenal team. Are there any? Can we find them? Let's go.
Mind the gap between the train and the platform. Please stand clear of the discussion doors. The next stop is Highbury Squad.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Highbury Squad. Many of you might be listening on replay because you're watching the Champions League right now. And for those of you who don't give a toss about who's playing, I don't know, Juventus, Chelsea, you know, who cares? We're here, and so is my podcast brother from another mother, Mr. Super Kevin Campbell.
Squaddies. Welcome on a Tuesday-ish club. Just our club. And at ease, and let's do it. Short and sharp.
Short and sharp tonight. We're going to try and get in and out in half an hour so you guys can go off and watch the football. Do you think we can do it? More to the point, do you think I can do it? Let's see. Holiday Hillier is somewhere, and we're going to leave him to it. But we are here, and Kev, I'm wearing my Bill Belichick cut off sweatshirt. You know, just do your job, just do your thing. Just it. That's it.
Do your job. Do your job.
Absolutely. Good evening to all of the usual suspects in the house. Hope everyone is safe and well. Agree with you, Mr. Universal Greek, and all those who are joining us. Right, let's get down to it. It is Thanksgiving in the US. It's my favorite holiday, Kev, for many reasons. Number one, you don't have to buy anyone a present. It's really literally giving thanks and having gratitude. And it's wonderful. And I love it. We even have this, I should have put a picture up of it, but we have this turkey that you order and the proceeds go to Feeding America, and it has these little wings on it with a felt, and you can write all the things that you're thankful for, and you put it into the turkey, and it develops the little turkey wings and stuff like that. So I thought, why not look at what's in front of us versus what's in the rearview mirror. Liverpool game's gone. The Highbury Squad are done with that. We're over it. We're moving forward. So here is the show where we're giving thanks to the current Arsenal team, club, universe. Super Kev, do you want to go first with your number one? It's not in any order, by the way.
No, it's not in any order. I'm thankful for fans being back in the stadium.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Really thankful for that, because you know what, Sophie? We done all of last season and it wasn't the same. It wasn't the same without the fans being in. And, you know, seeing our fan base at home and away, you know, really supporting the team. It's been great. So I'm thankful for the fans being back, Soph.
All right. So I was thinking that we might have a couple of ones that are similar. And so I'll jump to the one that I had that is similar to yours. Super Kev, I am thankful for the club, the community, and the fans. And there's many reasons why I'm thankful for that. And we've seen a little bit of it on our Talented Gooners show this season. You've got Dave Seeger's book, Arsenal for Everyone. If you haven't bought it yet, if you haven't read it, if you haven't seen anything about it. Yeah, absolutely.
Should be a stocking filler.
Well said, Kev. It should be a stocking filler. And Dave's doing a lot of great things with the club. The club have embraced it and they're supporting Dave's book, which is incredible. Then you look at the way the club have supported local businesses after what you've said, Kev, about getting fans back in stadium. With COVID, it has been a treacherous time. We've seen legendary spots like Highbury Corner suffer from what, you know, this pandemic has created. crippled without fans, these local businesses that we've all come to know and love, and to see the club pull together and have these kind of localized grassroots campaigns, Super Kev, to support the community is incredible. We've also had young Mikey on, Ruth Beck on, No Laguna, who we've recorded with, who does great things for people like us and others in the community that you'll see when his episode comes out in the next few days. And of course, the international fans, Kev, who get up at ungodly hours to support our club. I am thankful for all of those things.
Nice one. Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely tremendous. You know, I narrowed it down just obviously to the team and the stadium. But you're right. The community is such a big part of what we do and what the club does. And I'll second you on that and commend you on that, Soph. You know, the international and everybody who supports the Arsenal. You know, we should be thankful for that, because I think without them, it's not the same. Never the same.
And I think in a time where everyone has felt like over the years the club is disconnected from the fans or the owners, those who are now at the helm are making sure that there is this connectivity. And I think you can see it by the support of Dave's book, the support of the local businesses, Kev. So that's a really big one. Right. What have you got next on your list?
I am thankful for the club showing some progress after the first 3 games, because we were in such a very, very, very dire position. So 3 games, no goals, no points, rock bottom of the table. And today we stand, even after a defeat, 5th in the table. So I'm thankful for that, because you know what? The way we were last season, do you remember last season up to this point? Yes. We were struggling. We really were struggling. So, you know, we didn't make the greatest start to the season, but I'm thankful that there is some progress being shown. And I'm sure we're going to touch on a certain few players later.
Definitely, definitely. And you're right, Universal Greek. We try to show our gratitude all the time on our show. It's definitely something that we should do every single day. And I know that many of us do. So definitely. And just riffing off what Kev said in terms of where you were going with that, Kev, on my list, I had the hope. I'm thankful for the hope, because it's been hopeless over the last few years. And I feel like this, despite the result of the weekend, I still believe that the DNA and the culture of these new players that we've signed bring a level of integrity and care to the club. They know what it means to have the privilege to wear the badge. And I know the hope, it's the hope that kills you. And we say that a lot as Arsenal fans. But for me also, without hope, what is there? And it's like that Star Wars feeling, right? It's always the underdog, or David versus Goliath. And we've become a little bit of an underdog, yet we're still a big club and we're still a great club. You know, winning those FA Cups, I think, gave people hope that despite our darkest days and being on our knees, we were still able to win 4 FA Cups in the space of, what, 6 years, Kev? What club fan base wouldn't love that?
Listen, I know this is what I do know. I know there's a few fan bases that will swap one of them with us, you know, in 6 years, let alone 4 in 6 or 7. You know, it's listen, it just goes to show the mark of the football club. All right. We know we're not where we want to be, but we have made some progress. And I think people can get behind a club once you start to make the progress and you see the progress. You know, you start to see it a little bit. We will get there, Soph. We will get there, because do you know what? Do you know sometimes what a defeat does, like what happened at the weekend? It shines the light on where you're lacking.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's what it does. And that's what it's done with me, especially. So, you know, I'm thankful for that.
So I'm going to put this up from Magic Mike, who's in the chat. Hey, Magic Mike. Speaking of thankfulness, we are angling towards Wednesday, December 1 for the Gooners versus Cancer raffle prize drawing. Super Kev, be ready to sign some shirts. 21,500 raised, record broken. That is unbelievable.
Brilliant,
well
Magic.
done.
Brilliant and
stuff.
well deserved. You deserved your
award
for sure. You know, doing incredible work, Magic Mike, and well done, mate. And anytime, hopefully, you're coming back. I hear you might
He's
be
in
coming.
Florida now. He's in Florida now, but he's coming back.
Back.
He's already planning his next trip.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah.
Okay, so Kev, number 1 on my list. Nothing else is in order, but number 1 is, I thought I'd go next for you. And I'm going to throw this in based on something you said and something Mark, one of our OGs, has also said. I'm thankful I'm not Tottenham fan. I'm thankful that I support the Arsenal. I'm thankful that despite they have Antonio Conte, despite all this next hope, despite the fact that they're going to win the league again, that they've got a great Italian manager, another master and commander steering their pirate ship along their fraudulent shores, I am thankful that I'm a Gooner and I am not a Spud. Mark, I'm on your page. Super Kev, over to you.
Thankful to be. Listen, it goes without saying we're thankful to be a Gooner, to be honest. Yeah. Look again, Sophie. See, there you go again. You see, no. What's all
His
this
timing.
about being thankful of being a good? We're always thankful of being Gooners. We're special, and what a football club we have. What a football club we support. As you said, in some of our most difficult days, we still win. There you go, Vinny. Go on. So you know, even in our weakest times, we still get over the line. So
yes,
you know, it is a fantastic, you know, to be thankful for being a Gooner.
Definitely.
Just like anything. But you know what, Sophie? I'm thankful our club has the history that we have.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thankful that the Arsenal, yeah, we haven't been where we should be. But you know what we can do, Sophie? We can go back and look at times where we've been the best. Not many teams could do that, Sophie. Not many teams could say we've been the best.
It's very, you know, which is why I think that when we do falter and going through these tough times, it hurts that much more. You know, I think I've equated it before on the show. You know, once you stay at the Peninsula or the Four Seasons, it's really hard to stay at the roadside motel.
Of course it is. With the vending machine, you know,
and
it's hard.
And, you know, their makeshift breakfast where they serve you blueberry muffins that you can actually bounce off a goalpost any day of the week. And I think those things are really important. And that's why I understand the pain of a lot of Arsenal fans. I was thinking about that today when I was watching Villarreal against Manchester United, Kev, and the unwavering support for a club, whether you win or lose, whether, you know, like when you look at championship teams, League One, League Two, or you look at League Two in France, Bundesliga 2, Serie A, all of those fans that go, our own James Johnston goes to Dagenham and Redbridge most weekends. There's an affinity with a community and a club. And sometimes winning isn't everything, but when you have won, that's the toughest pill to swallow, isn't it? Because you don't know what it feels like or what it tastes like. Like if you haven't had Bollinger, if you haven't had caviar, or if you haven't had baked beans, you don't know what it tastes like.
But we have. That's the problem.
Exactly.
Yeah, we have. What you got to remember is, Soph, we have been at the top table. We've been the head. In Turkey, even when you sit down at the table, you can't eat until the captain sits down.
When you were at Trabzonspor?
Yeah, you can't eat and you can't leave the table until the captain gets up.
Wow.
Really good for camaraderie, really good for just, you know, chopping it up with lads. That you have to stay there. But you think about it, Sophie. We have been the captain at the table. We have been the head. We have been the ones who, when we sit down, everybody else can move and eat. And until we get up, nobody else could move. We were that team. And the hard part for us is we're no longer that team, but we want to get back. We do want to get back. And there are certain things that we have to go through to get there. And we've said it all along, Sophie, there has to be a ruthless streak in our football club. And I believe the ruthless streak is upon us. It's here now. It has to be. It has to be. So that's another thing, you know, that's for being the best, having that history that propels us to being the best, because you know what? We ain't going to settle. No chance. We're not settling until we're back there. That's for sure.
Exactly. JJ's in the house. Dagenham and Redbridge did a lot for my father when he was ill, so I'm eternally grateful for that club. Kev, you've been there. Your boys, you've seen it through you when you even went on loan to clubs like Leyton Orient.
Leyton Orient, yep.
When you went to Leicester, when your boys, seeing them go through it too. Like these grassroots level, these clubs, all of these things, there's so much to be thankful for those experiences, aren't there, Kev?
It's all about experience, and it's all about people. Because you know, one thing I found, so whether it's at Arsenal or you go to a Leyton Orient, the people at the football club are always quality people, good people, football people. And we do have a football community, big one, to be honest with you. So, you know, as a football dad now, I'm seeing it, I'm witnessing it myself. The people around football there's still good people around football. And we need them. We need more good people around the game.
Totally. I love messages like this too, even though we're talking about the current squad. I love fans like Rich and Universal Greek, and I want to read their comments to you because I know it means a lot to you as well, Kev. Rich says he's glad he witnessed the double team in 71. The Brady years followed by GG's Arsenal and Wenger's Invincibles. Pure joy. I love this club. It's more important than everything. I can't wait. And Universal Greek, thankful to my dad for taking me to Highbury in 1971 to see the double team. We went to all home games together for many years. Happy times, R.I.P. Dad. No, that's what it's.
That is what football and family are all about, isn't it? You know, somebody has to take that care to bring you through, and sit you down, and you know you get mesmerized when you go to Highbury, or you obviously Emirates now. You get mesmerized by it all, because you realize this thing is bigger than so many people. But look how many people come together. It's wonderful.
Kev, that first moment, I don't know if there's a difference between the player and the fan example, but I'll never forget that first moment where you walk up, and it was, for me, it was the North Bank, right? So my viewpoint is, you got the clock end, and I don't need to explain it to everyone. You guys know. But it's that first moment where you walk into the stadium and you see it's kind of empty, and the green grass.
It bays like a snooker table.
And
like a green baize, isn't it?
Yeah, and the smell. And I don't know, like for you, that first moment from when, not from when you were young and you used to go, but when you played your first ever game at Highbury for the Arsenal, and you walk through the tunnel and you see a full stadium. I'm pretty sure it was a bit more full back in the day. I know there was some hard times. And you see that carpet, even the carpet is the carpet now because there was an original carpet at Highbury. Was it the same feeling for you? But obviously you're wearing this shirt. It's totally different.
No, it's different. No, it's different. Definitely different. Because when I was young, running up running up the stairs to the North Bank, and you get over the brow, and you're kind of looking, and there's that green baize, isn't it? You see the clock end, you see the East Stand, the West Stand's here, and you see the North Bank, but it's that pitch, that green baize that is like a charm. It mesmerizes you, you know. As a kid, remember, as I'm 7 years old, as a kid, it's like, but there's a lot more's gone on since then before you make your debut type thing. You know what I mean? You play on it in the youth team. You play on it in the reserves. Empty stadium. And then you go out with the first team. And there's all the, where I stood, it's chock-a-block. The stands, the seats are full. The clock end, people standing are full. You know, the buzz, the noise, the smells,
all of it.
Everything is a different experience. But getting back to that base, so because when you go down the tunnel, and then you're there, and then you look at the pitch, you see the camber of the pitch, and the pitch is kind of at a level like that, and then you go and you walk up, like you step up onto it. You know what I mean? It's not you just walk on, you step up onto the pitch. So it was such an incredible. Sophie, I've lived the dream.
You have, Kev.
I mean, lived the dream, and I can't stress this enough, Sophie. I am so blessed. The team I supported as a baby, I got to put the shirt on. I got to play. I got to win. I got to be successful with the team I love. It don't get any better than that, Soph. It don't. It doesn't. And I cherish, and I am grateful and thankful for every second at that club, good, bad, indifferent. That's why I say I'm thankful for us having the history and the want to be the best. Because that's what it was all about, Soph, trying to be the best. From day one, I mentioned about George Graham, didn't I? You know, his first team talk, I was a 16-year-old kid, and his first team talk, he said, there's a team on Merseyside that wear red, that is the yardstick, and they've got a target on their back for me, and that's who we're going to be going for. Everything is geared to taking them on and beating them. And he turned around to the first team players and he looked at everybody in the eye and he said, if you are not up for it, let me know and I'll get you out of this club. No problem. You could imagine, I'm an impressionable 16-year-old kid, and George Graham's looking me in the eye telling me about that's the club that we're going to take down.
The mighty Liverpool.
So it's a bit like, look at it now. You know, now we're starting to see Mikel Arteta get his team together. They're one of the teams with a target on their back. We've got to take them down. So everything must be geared to taking them down because we want it to be the best Arsenal.
Kev, even like there's so many comments coming in about you live the dream, the Highbury days in the North Bank. No, Kevin, you live my dream apart from the Everton bit, and lots of tongue in cheek. Like so many comments. And I know this was about the current Arsenal, but I love how our show evolves because there's so much to be thankful for. The reason why we're probably thankful for and we're finding silver linings in today's Arsenal is because of our history, because of our pedigree, our culture, our DNA. And even though that DNA and culture is being reinvented and reestablished, that's okay. Every brand, team, company goes through reinvention. I mean, let's credit Sir Alex Ferguson. The reason why Manchester United continued to be successful, it was because he adapted to modern day football, Kev, and he reinvented not only himself but his team.
He'd done it with 4 teams.
4 eras, Kev.
Four, yeah, he'd done it with 4 teams.
And
Fair play.
I agree, K Marlon. I wish more legends were open as Kev. So many of these comments coming in. Thankful for this Highbury Squad YouTube community. Like so many comments, by the way. And Kev, even as a little girl, right? Mm-hmm. I dreamed of playing for Arsenal. I had a trial once. It was a loose trial. It was like, you know, the trial before the trial before the trial where someone takes a look at you. And I was so tiny then, you know, and I think I may have mentioned to you before, my cousin George used to put weights on my ankles. So when I
to try and strengthen you.
Yeah. And I was determined. But in my time, this is why I love what Messi did for the game, Kev. He made it possible for slighter, smaller, shorter players to have a place in football. I mean, I think there were a few before him, there's no doubt, but he really evolved and totally changed that taboo subject where you had to be a certain size or height to excel in the game, right?
Well, don't forget, you know, so Geordie Armstrong wasn't big.
No, he wasn't. That's true. He wasn't.
Geordie Armstrong wasn't big, but I tell you what, he had a heart as big as a bucket, and he was a producer. The production of Geordie Armstrong was incredible. That's what made him. You know, Maradona, people say Lone Star's no longer with us. You know, Pele isn't the biggest. You know, again, these guys are not giants. They're short, and you know they were incredible players.
And that's why I said there are a couple before him. And isn't it coincidental that the couple before him are on that trajectory? And why I say this to you, and Amir, thank you as well. I mean, you guys, without you guys, there is no Highbury Squad. That's it, plain and simple. But to kind of now be on a show and talking football every day, my hairs go up, like still, because I stood there and watched you play. I tried out to play in the women's game where really it wasn't possible. I was playing in the boys team at my school, St. Michael's at Bowes in Enfield, and it got to like, you know, county games, and then they were like, oh no, you can't play, you're a girl. And this is what I love about evolution, Kev. And, you know, this is why you always have to kind of believe, be thankful that things can change, things can move forward, things can move on. And the fact that you were a South London boy and an Arsenal fan, and you end up playing for the club. I had a dream. Universal Greek had a dream. Rich had a dream. We all had a dream. But you actually lived the dream. That is so special.
And Sophie, you put a picture up there of my South London brothers. And I cannot tell you enough how influential these guys were. I cannot speak highly enough. When I went to the Watford game, Paul Davis, who's got the la-di-da trying to pass it to me there, he was there. And he was, you know, we had a quick chat about how special our time was. It's an incredible football club, Sophie, that so many people came together. It really is. They're my brothers. They're my big brothers. And they always will be.
It's really quite amazing. And a lot of people in the chat were saying earlier how they felt Paul Davies was underrated. They think he's appreciated by us fans.
But he's undervalued, isn't he? Yes. He's undervalued in the big scheme of things. But everybody who saw Paul Davies knows what class he was. And you know what? A lot of people forget. Paul Davies, you know, in the Winners' Cup final, Paul Davies was amazing.
Yeah.
People forget
he was a master. Things. He was a master in that game.
People forget the little things, you know. Again, if we'd had a full quota of players, Paul Davies probably wouldn't have played. But the fact of the matter is, Soph, he did.
I mean, his first touch sometimes. He had these feet, you know what I mean?
Pops like was special.
ridiculous.
Special.
A lot of people think Smudger as well is.
He is. He is. And again, the difficult time for modern people is because of when things transition from Football League to Premier League. It's like that never really happened back then, Soph. You know, those teams and players back then don't really get coverage. Although Alan Smith does obviously commentary now and stuff. People hear him doing the commentary, but don't know him. It's crazy. He was an incredible striker.
It really is crazy. It is. But I feel like through shows like ours, I hope that, you know, people will continue to... There's a reason why we are the Arsenal today, and that's exactly because of all of these stories that we talk about and that we tell. And I know that it's hard sometimes considering where we've been, but this is why I always say, don't mistake being an average Premier League team right now for still being a great club. You know, Leonardo DiCaprio is still a great actor. He may have a couple duds along the way, but he's still Leonardo DiCaprio. You know, that's the pedigree of him as an actor. And Arsenal have the same. Kev, I was talking to someone yesterday about your 91 team, especially because... in my mind, you know how I love to play the what if game, but that team, it was so good, right? It was so, I don't know, really super tough as well. Like you had technique, and I think sometimes that technique not was ignored, but maybe underappreciated because of the physicality and the mental strength of that side. And I was thinking to myself, my God, can you imagine if that 91 team backed up the 89 victory by going invincible? But can you imagine that legacy?
It'd be lost
now.
It'd be lost because it isn't in the Premier League era.
Do you still think it would be lost, Kev? Like,
yeah, not amongst Arsenal fans, by the way. No, not amongst Arsenal fans. But I think football in general, Sophie. You think about the Football League. I think the Football League was obviously because it happened pre-Premier League, that a lot of those teams never got the credit they deserve. And then people just think because the Premier League, Manchester United were this team and Arsenal obviously had their spell. No, they got to go before then because they're great Liverpool teams, great Everton teams, great Arsenal teams going back then. You know, Aston Villa had an incredible team. If you're going back,
Forest, your old club, Forest, Everton.
You look at, listen, that Everton team took on Liverpool man for man and beat them. You know, if it weren't for obviously some the things that happened with crowd trouble and we got banned, Everton were going to be well on their way to looking to win a European Cup with their team. So,
what a team. I used to love watching Everton in the 80s, Kev.
And
what a team.
They were unbelievable. They were really, really good. But they would never get the credit. They get the credit amongst Evertonians and people who know. But now in the Premier League era, obviously you got new fans who come in and it's not their fault. But the legacy of football kind of stops and starts again. Whereas it's up to us to keep that legacy going.
Totally.
So that's why we're thankful for the history.
Yes. Absolutely. You know? Yeah, definitely. And Lone Star's thankful for the loss at Liverpool because he thinks it's going to accelerate the growth and development of the team. Sometimes you need cold water poured on you, wakes you up, shakes you up. Reaction Saturday needed.
Lone Star, you've obviously been reading my notes. What's going on, Lone Star? Because look, what is that? That's 4 done, haven't we?
We've
Or is
done.
that 3?
I've done. Thankful we're not Tottenham. Thankful for the club community of fans riffing off you and the hope. I have 2 left. Do you have 1 left?
No, I have 2 left.
Okay.
One was about taking our hits. I'm thankful that this young team are learning from a position of strength. Here's the reason why, Soph.
Okay.
Everybody can get beat at certain times. We get beat and we're still 5th. The key to everything then is how we react. We have to roll our sleeves up and say, you know what? That ain't going to happen again. We know the level now. That ain't going to happen again. And this is where the legends are made, Soph. This is where we push on. And again, we got Newcastle. Everyone thinks Arsenal just have to turn up. But we know different. If you don't treat it right, if you don't respect your opponent, you come unstuck in the Premier League. Make no mistake about it. Make no mistake about it.
Mm-hmm.
For me, focus now.
Mm-hmm.
Total focus on winning again. That's what the name of the game is. That's what it is. And do you know what, Soph? You keep winning, you never know where you end up.
Right. So I love how we have some similarities. They may not be exactly the same, but I'm going to riff off you on my next one here. And that has a lot to do with this player's personality and character. I'm thankful for Ramsdale because I think Ramsdale, if I look at players that would have fit in to your team, Kev, I think Ramsdale would have been perfect in goal. So I look at character and personality. I think even as a... Yeah?
We had Dave Seaman, sorry.
No, I know. No,
but
listen,
we had Dave Seaman.
I know you did.
But I can't be having you getting rid of the goalie.
No, I'm not. I'm saying that, you know, when you look at the what if game, okay, and it's a total blank canvas, Ramsdale's personality and character, forget Seaman, I'm just saying, like, if you look at it, he would have fit in with you guys based on his persona, his bravado, his fight, his tenacity, his care, all of that stuff.
Yeah, of course. Definitely.
Right?
Definitely. Yeah.
So for me, I'm thankful for Ramsdale because for me, he's the new identity of the old Arsenal, even though I want the new Arsenal to emerge and present itself with its own chapter and its own story. You know, I think Saka and Emile Smith-Rowe reinvented what it means to be an Arsenal player based on Haylen, based on you guys, based on what we've seen in the past. When Kieran Tierney came, he blew it out the water, being a little bit older than them, but said, hey, I may not be a Haylen boy, but I'm one of you. You know, it felt like he was one of us. And then Ramsdale's introduction has taken it up another level. And when you add the Gabriel's personalities of the world, the Ben Whites, a young Nuno, I love how there are new players, Kev, that are reinventing, but at the same time, they could be cut from a cloth that we've seen before.
Well, that's my next one, is the new players. The Ramsdales, Gabriel, Tommy Arsenal, who you haven't mentioned, who I think has been just fine at right back. Someone solid, someone dependable, someone who you don't have to worry about, Soph.
Thank you, Kev, because I had a picture of him ready to go.
Yeah. You know, he's somebody, Sophie, who you just could let him get on with his job.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're not panicking at any stage or anything like that. He will just get on with his job. Obviously, the Kieran Tierneys of this world was at the club a little bit before these guys, but he's come in and you've seen him. Tavares as well, you know, Sambi. I am pleased. Obviously, Odegaard, these two young Haaland boys, Ben White. I'm pleased that these guys have come in, Sophie. And listen, there was a lot of stick flying about. There was a lot of people questioning. But one thing we can say is this team have a little bit of an identity of the past now. It's not always going to go right at the beginning. And it's not always, we're not always going to get the right result or the right performances. Because they've only been together since the end of the transfer window.
Mm-hmm.
That's all they've been together. And you look at other clubs, and other clubs have had players who have been together 2, 3, 4 years. But I like what I'm seeing. I can relate to some of these guys. And I really want them to respond in the best possible way this weekend. Because I think it's really important for us as fans to see them respond. 100%.
I completely agree with you, Kev. And my last one, which riffs off again from what you're saying, is giving the credit to Ramsdale, but going back to the core of where it all started. I am very thankful for Bukayo Saka and Emile Smith-Rowe.
Mm-hmm.
When City have Foden, United have Rashford, Sancho, Greenwood, you've got Jude Bellingham out there, you've got Grealish doing his thing. We have our very own in Emile Smith-Rowe and Saka. And potentially down the line, it could be Aziz and Balogun. Like, our academy continues and has
Martinelli.
done. And Martinelli a bit different, but these young players coming in, it's been a long time to have local boys from the academy be the nucleus, not only make an impression, Kev, but be the nucleus of the team. It's the dream. And as much as we love a good foreign import, it's important to still have a core of Londoners that understand what it means to be part of the Arsenal Football Club. Because when you see Saka walk down a hall and he's wearing the number 7 and he's going past Rocky's pictures, when you talk on this show about being a South London boy, putting that shirt on for the first time, playing at Highbury, when you see someone like Ian Wright come into that mix, I mean, it's just beyond special. And so for me, they're the heartbeat of Arsenal Football Club right now. They're the soul, they're the nucleus, they're the hub. Now, I'm not talking about putting everything on their shoulders and relying on them, Kev, but they provide this hope. And I hope we don't waste it, we don't flush it down the toilet, and they don't break our hearts, because my goodness, if we can't build on this positivity, I fear for us as a club. But I think we're gonna, I believe, and I hope that we're gonna do the right thing and build around them and continue to build around them.
We're gonna do the right thing. We have to do the right thing, because you have to look at it, Sophie, as a wonderful opportunity. That's the way we've got to look at it. We've got a wonderful opportunity to build something special. That's what we've got. They're young, and yeah, they're not experienced, but they're young. 100%. But you know what? What an opportunity it is to build something special with these young, talented players. And again, that's why I get back to it being ruthless. We have to be ruthless in what we do, in how we achieve it. And people being, linked to player, oh, I love this player and that. Well, sorry, the team take precedent, because you want to win. What happens with a winning team, Sophie? Some players will suffer. If you're winning, some players will suffer. So I'm pleased that the Haaland boys have done so well. Thankful for them 100%. Thankful for the football club. Thankful for the fans. Thankful for for you, Sophie, and thankful for the squaddies.
Absolutely. Yes. Despite the challenges, you guys, there's always so much to be thankful for. We see that in our daily lives. You know, when we face adversity as human beings, we've all been challenged in the last 19 months. And like, it's the small things like Brady's banana. Thankful his wife likes watching the Arsenal now, even if it's only so she can ooh and ah over Loverboy Arteta and his hair. That's a win. But jokes aside, Kev, it's not been easy, and football is our sanctuary. When your team's not doing well, it's hard. But you know what? Imagine being a Norwich City fan, a West Brom fan. Imagine being a Newcastle fan. They've been taken over, they're rock bottom. They don't know if they're going to survive. They don't know if they're going to make it in the Premier League. What we have is something very unique. Apart from Everton, the only top flight club to never be relegated from the top tier of football. Mm-hmm. And I know that I can go on and we all go on, but this is why I wanted to do this show today, was because, you know, it's Thanksgiving in the US and it's become a very important holiday to me. With my American family and my partner. And I love it so much, Kev, because gratitude is so important for us to take a moment. And I think that means looking at every part of our life and our existence, and football is so much
so prominent
part of our lives. Yeah, exactly. Smooth, we hit that at the very top. Oh, look, he's using your picture with Righty as his
I saw that. I
moniker.
saw it. Yes, yeah, he's on it. He's on it. Love it.
And thank you, Newman. I love Thanksgiving. I really do. And I'm very, very thankful. And the reason I'm doing this is because there will be no live show tomorrow and there'll be no live show on Thursday. Going to spend it with family, going to cook some insane turkey. And you know what? I'm going to make Greek potatoes, Kev, because you have to add a little bit of Greek to the Americanisms of this world.
Of course. Listen, you got to put a little spin on it, for sure.
And I'm going to make my famous stuffing, which is very famous, and in our household, if anything. And I just want to enjoy the next couple of days, watch some sports, watch some NFL. And I just want everyone to know that we're so thankful for you. I'm going on a bit, but you can take it. Kev, I'm just so thankful for the squaddies and the community that we've built and everything that is part of this show, the core listeners, the new listeners, the people that dip in and out, all of it. All of it. It's just brilliant.
Yeah, 100%, Sophie. Listen, it is a special holiday for you out in the States. Thanksgiving, and you know it's so sporty as well. Thanksgiving, isn't it? It's so sporty. You know, it's really is brilliant. And you know me, I'm a big fan of American sports.
Yeah,
and you know I love all the Thanksgiving, the turkey game and all that. You know, they have the turkey and you got the turkey leg. But I just think we definitely needed each other anyway, and Thanksgiving is a great opportunity for us all to be thankful for certain things. I try and be thankful every single day because being able to open your eyes and breathe and move, it's a blessing. It really is a blessing. No matter what else happens in the day, you're living. And I just honestly think that, you know, having this community with these squaddies is real special. And I'm just like you, I'm thankful for having them, for having this platform to be able to speak to people and put my point across and my feelings about Arsenal Football Club, because there ain't many times I've had the opportunity to do that.
Yes. What I love about the show is that, you know, today was about things that we're thankful for the current Arsenal, but it evolves and we have these conversations and our listeners take us to different places too. And whether we agree or disagree, at the end of the day, it's all for the love of our club as well. And someone just mentioned Gal Gadot. Yes, we're all thankful for Gal Gadot. Let's be honest. She's one of life's treasures. There's no doubt about it. Right. Keep letting us know. Oh, you're just getting in. Well, we're just leaving. But let us know what you're thankful for with the current Arsenal. Take it back as well. What is it you're thankful for being an Arsenal fan? Let us know if you're listening on replay. There's a lot of things that we kind of brush over because the instant gratification part of life these days wants us to see things now, hear things now, get things done now. But now isn't always the answer, is it, Kev?
Definitely not in football, that's for sure. You know, it's definitely not in football. But we do get it. We understand the self-gratification. The key is progress, Sophie. As long as you're making progress and you're moving forward, I think people can start to understand and get behind something. So
yeah, definitely.
At least we're moving in the right direction. That's the key, isn't it? So
yes,
yeah,
yes. Gal Gadot wants a nice Jewish man like Magic Mike. Apparently, well, Kevin Campbell.
Magic, you better be careful. You better be careful. Your wife don't knock you out.
Well, listen, whether he's wearing a wig, just hanging out with fans and doing it for fun, by the way, you guys, we all love Kev's pictures in his wigs, whether he's doing and trying to teach Ian Wright about how to wear a leather jacket, or teaching Ian Wright how to wear a wig, or teaching David Hillier how to wear a wig, or his lion eyes when he was just a 15-year-old lad, or lifting trophies for the Arsenal and being in this environment with his South London brothers. I just wanted to end the show by saying how thankful I am for Super Kevin Campbell and all that he does on the Highbury Squad, and how he motivates me every single day to be better, to do better. Just when I think I'm tired and I can't do anything more, I get a little voice note or something from Kev that just G's me up and keeps me going. And so for me, I just wanted to say, Super Kev, I'm so thankful for you, my brother from another podcast mother.
Sophie? And you know what, squaddies? We're going to end it there, because that is the perfect way for the hostess with the mostest, Sophie, to end it. This was a little bit longer than half an hour, but squaddies, you know the script. Look after yourself. Take good care. Be thankful for everything. Tell people you love them. And at ease, we're out.
Mind the gap between the train and the platform. Please stand clear of the discussion doors. The next stop is Highbury Squad.